And joining us now is BofA Securities Senior Analyst Vivek Arya, has a buy rating on both stocks. Vivek, good to see you. So I guess with Nvidia doing what it has recently, raises the question, how vulnerable is Nvidia in the short and medium term to the market's overall risk sentiment? I mean, Nvidia is lower since the election.
Right. Hi, John. Thanks for having me. I think Nvidia is our top pick for next year. We like Broadcom and Marvell for that matter as well, because these three companies are ideally positioned to capitalize on this demand for AI infrastructure. I think specific to Nvidia, there are two issues that have been affecting it near term. One is the execution on the new Blackwell product. The last 2 quarters they have reported there have been some production issues with Blackwell that they have resolved. Then there were some delays in getting it out to hyperscalers, and I think those will also be resolved. So in our perspective, this is actually a very attractive opportunity to look at Nvidia, because these concerns will be short-term in nature. When we look longer term and look at the situation that Broadcom mentioned, that in the next few years, there could be greater demand for custom chips, I don't think that is inconsistent with the way we have thought about the market, which is about 80% of the market will be merchant accelerators, where Nvidia will dominate, and about 15 to 20% of the market will be more custom chips, where Marvell and Broadcom, I think, will do extremely well. So we think of these as very complementary in nature, and some of the issues around Nvidia we think are very short-term, and the stock is trading at a very attractive valuation right now.
Another week, another round of optimism about Nvidia, the darling of Wall Street. Dan Ives, a Wedbush analyst, is the source this time. Some bears and interested followers of the corporation may have been alarmed by recent headlines, particularly the Beijing-based reports that Nvidia is being investigated for antitrust violations. A projected $1 billion fine might be imposed on the corporation if it is proven guilty. From its peak in early November, its stock has dropped 12%, with a 5% decline in the last week. Ives has a more optimistic and realistic approach when discussing potential problems and penalties. He told Sazi, "I'm more concerned with the cappuccino, making sure it's hot in the morning. When the bears awaken, they are intent on anything." Ives, who earned the nickname the Godfather of AI for Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang, just got back from a trip to Asia. Ives says the statistics are looking good. He claimed that the demand for Nvidia's products was 15 to 1. Do you believe it is being stopped by this antitrust investigation? Ives once likened the current state of affairs at Nvidia to an all-night party. He clarified that although the party itself lasts till 4 o'clock a.m., the past was 9 o'clock p.m. according to him. The DG pauses the music at numerous instances. Occasionally, people believe the police are on their way when they hear a siren. There will be anxious periods for you, he continued. However, we believe that this is only the second year in a 10-year build-out. This year, Nvidia's stock has risen dramatically, becoming the most valuable corporation in the world throughout the summer. Since miners use Nvidia's servers for their job, the incoming Trump administration's enthusiasm for cryptocurrencies also made the company well known. Many of the recent opening bid visitors have been thinking about Nvidia. Vivek Arya, an analyst at Bank of America, said Sazi that its Blackwell and upcoming Rubin GPUs, which are scheduled to be released in the third quarter of 2025, demonstrate that it has potential to grow. Arya reaffirmed its buy rating and $190 price target in a report dated November 20. He said, "We continue to like the stock on its substance, but expect to see the stock churn in the near term as investors digest lack off-sizzle." He praised the company for its goods, for being a fast-growing megacap, and for its outstanding free cash flow creation. Potential outside rivals, however, are hoping to join Nvidia and ride the wave. Ives referred to Nvidia as the only game in town. Although we anticipate that others will gain from this, Nvidia is the sole company selling these processors. According to Ives, Nvidia's market valuation may soon reach $5 trillion due to the anticipated demand. According to him, Nvidia is increasingly in the forefront of the foundation. That isn't going to change. So, what implications does this have for Nvidia's stock? Let's explore that. But first, a big thank you to those of you who've stuck with us this far. Creating these videos takes significant effort and dedication, So if you're enjoying the content, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts on Nvidia stock in the comments. Your support truly helps us grow. Now let's get back to the video.
We're kicking things off today with Nvidia. Shares are continuing to slide this morning after dipping into correction territory Monday, down more than 10% from its record closing high in November. And we're seeing shares pre-market lower by just about 2%. We'll round that off to just round figures here. But ultimately, I think the key to watch from here is for all of the buy on the dip mentality that we've heard over the past several weeks. For this, the poster child of AI, it'll be interesting to watch how many buyers certainly enter back into and what type of flows we see into Nvidia, even off of some of the pressure that we're seeing right now.
Yeah, I think when you take a look at where we are here today, right around 130, the next critical level to watch, what I've been seeing here from a lot of the notes out this morning from the technical side of this equation, is 100-day moving average, which is right around 128, so just below where it looks like we are here in the pre-market. I think you got to take a step back and take a look at what is driving maybe some of the concerns. Remember, though, this is a stock that's still up over 160% year to date. So it's important to put that in context here. But we're seeing a lot of favoritism or a lot of, I guess, money flowing into one of its competitors. When you take a look at Broadcom, some of the excitement there. And I bring that up because we talk time and time again just about this moat, how much Nvidia has dominated the AI conversation and whether or not there is some sort of threat here from competitors. We are certainly seeing a rising here in terms of its competition with the outperformance here of Broadcom. Broadcom saying that AI revenue is going to quadruple in the next 3 years. So I think the market is taking a look at that, hey, that could actually signal maybe potential share loss, market share loss here going forward for Nvidia. But I was also going through some of the analyst notes out this morning and really over the last couple of days, and at least from an analyst perspective, there does still seem to be consensus that this is a good buy, especially at these levels. They talk about the fact that how big of a player, how dominant of a player Nvidia remains. And they also just make the great point that I thought was that it's far from a zero-sum game. There's multiple winners here. It's not just a Broadcom. It's not Broadcom versus Nvidia or AMD. Obviously, it's enough to go around and enough here to fuel some of this bullish theory here, or bullish thesis here going forward. But again, we are seeing a bit of a dip here, to say the least, for Nvidia, with the stock off just about 11%. So questions about when exactly that next catalyst is going to come into play.
After an almost 240% increase in 2023, Nvidia's stock is expected to rise by a comfortable triple-digit percentage in 2024. Blackwell, a product that wasn't even shipped until the latter quarter of the year, is mostly to blame for this year's increase. When two dies are connected by a high-bandwidth interface, HBI, the largest GPU, graphics processing unit, ever constructed is produced. That amounts to a lot of power at great efficiency, which is why the so-called hyperscalers, companies like Microsoft and Alphabet that are constructing massive data centers to run big language models, LLMs, have been requesting it so much. Yahoo Finance named the chip its 2024 product of the year due to the high demand for Blackwell and the 170% increase in Nvidia's stock price. Matt Kimball, an analyst at More Insights and Strategy, told that Blackwell is a beast technically. With its twin GPU on a single chip, faster connection, a larger pool of high-bandwidth memory, HBM3E, and the addition of Nvidia's decompression engine to speed up data processing, Blackwell represents an exponential advancement. Blackwell is in the right position at the right moment, having been first announced in March. Input of data and training of those models currently occupy data centers that enable generative AI, or LLMs. For that work, Blackwell and its forerunner, Hopper, are ideal. Blackwell signifies a significant increase in power. With 208 billion transistors, it has more than 2.5 times as many as Hopper. For LLM inference applications, the GB200 NVL72 server, which combines 72 Blackwell GPUs with 36 Grace CPUs, can achieve up to a 30x performance boost when compared to the same number of Hopper GPUs. Additionally, it uses up to 25 times less energy. Diane Harris, director of NVIDIA's Accelerated Data Center, HPC, High Performance Computing, and AI, stated, "It's pretty unheard of for us to leapfrog ourselves by an order of magnitude. Although we were constrained by physics, We understood that the HBI's invention would enable us to expand die-level computation and communication. According to Menlo Ventures, U.S. companies' spending on generative AI has quadrupled in only 1 year, from $2.3 billion in 2023 to $13.8 billion in 2024. And as big businesses from tech and hotels to banking and retail compete to offer their clients sophisticated chatbots and assistants, the trend is only growing. Customers of Nvidia are spending a lot of money on their processors. Although Blackwell sales are not precisely broken out by the business, KeyBank analyst John Vinh predicts that Blackwell will generate between $4 billion and $5 billion in sales this quarter. He stated that we should begin to see a really rapid climb from Q4. We project compute data center revenues of $187 billion for the upcoming year, with Blackwell accounting for 80% of that total. He went on to say that they have pricing power because of their large market share. You essentially have to give Nvidia everything they want since you are a hyperscaler. Rivals of Nvidia, including AMD and even Amazon, are putting a lot of effort into creating their own substitutes. Since its startling upside revenue beat in May 2023, there has been discussion about how long the GPU giant's dominance in AI chips can persist. A 12% decline has been seen in its shares from their record closing on November 7. Additionally, news about other semiconductors, such as Amazon's Trainium 2 and Nova Semiconductors, has been in the headlines since the beginning of December. Following its results release, Broadcom has been gaining momentum, causing its market capitalization to soar to over $1 trillion. The company's contract AI chip business is the main source of excitement. According to CEO Hock Tan, it will reach a total serviceable market of $60 billion to $90 billion by 2027. However, according to Vinh, no one has been able to produce an effective custom solution that can compete with Nvidia's. Nvidia's value has stayed competitive with rival chip makers due to the company's earnings expanding at a quick pace in tandem with its share price. For instance, its forecast price-to-earnings ratio is about 31, as opposed to AMD's at 25 and Broadcom's at 46. Even as they create rival products, businesses like Amazon continue to use Nvidia. According to Ben Bajarin, CEO of Creative Strategies, Nvidia holds an approximate 85% market share in the training of generative AI models, and they aren't going anywhere. However, after training is finished, the models will use inference to make use of all the knowledge they have acquired and internalized. To stay informed about the latest developments from Nvidia and the ever-changing stock market, consider subscribing to our investing tutorial channel. We provide daily updates on significant market shifts and key catalysts, so hit that subscribe button to ensure you never miss crucial information. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Nvidia stock, so please share your opinions in the comments below. Now let's dive into today's video.
Company that really wants to make sure that the narrative continues to resound among investors and their core clients and portfolio base about them being the largest inferencing platform in the world. And this is going to be massive for some of the larger generative AI ambitions and goals, especially considering the stack that we've been talking about for the better part of 2 years now, where you have applications that sit on top of the models and those models sitting on top of the chips. And that's where NVIDIA sits at the base of this, the foundation of that AI tree, if you will. So all of these things considered, the advancements that they're going to be continuing to talk about from here forward is what the compute processing can look like for some of these algorithms for the inferencing throughput as well. They talked about this on the earnings call. You're going to hear a lot more about Hopper. You're going to hear a lot more about things like Blackwell. And it's just good to keep tabs on quarter over quarter each of these earnings calls to see what type of advancements they're making. Hopper inference, for instance, that throughput is increasing by about 5x in 1 year, they mentioned. And then additionally, they've got more of the performance that they're looking to add on by about 2.4x. So all these things considered, it'll be interesting to watch where the customers of NVIDIA continue to say, okay, it sounds like this is just going to get faster and faster on what these chips are able to do, and trying to figure out, all right, at what price point they should just continue to buy in. And then, oh yeah, what the churn looks like on these chips too. And that's going to be kind of a longer term implication that we'll see over time what some of the purchasing cyclicality looks like from these customers.
Although Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang has repeatedly insisted that his company's chips are well suited for that stage as well, the power required for inference is typically less than that of training. Cost is one issue that determines whether or not customers will keep buying. Nvidia chips are the most costly in addition to being the most sophisticated. The business emphasizes computational power in relation to energy consumption during the chip's lifetime when promoting its total cost of ownership, or TCO. According to Badgerin, I doubt they'll have the same market share they have today in inference. The competition for inference will be somewhat greater. But so far, Nvidia's own supply chain has been the main source of contention. Huang has admitted that manufacturing and design issues have arisen with a chip of Blackwell's complexity and power. The chip is anticipated to arrive this Q4 and increase production the following year, despite the delays. Huang stated on the company's most recent earnings call that Blackwell production is operating at full capacity. As far as the Blackwell ramp is concerned, I believe we are in excellent shape right now. Nevertheless, the business predicted that for a few more quarters, demand will outpace supply. According to Jordan Kleen, an analyst at Mizuho Group, the law of large numbers is expected to cause Nvidia's total sales growth rate to decelerate over the course of the upcoming year. In calendar 2023, Nvidia's sales increased by 126% compared to the previous year. According to analysts polled by Bloomberg, they will increase by 111% this year and 52% the following year. Demand still outpaces supply, so there's really nothing to be concerned about, Klein said. After the stock hit $127 on Tuesday, CNBC's Jim Cramer speculated that Nvidia might have reached a significant turning point, possibly indicating a bottom for the semiconductor giant's recent decline. Nvidia's stock may have reached a potential crescendo when it reached $127. On X, formerly Twitter, Cramer commented, "It might be a time when everyone who wanted to sell did so." This is different from his prediction on Monday that the chipmaker will undergo a swift and brutal reversal. After closing Tuesday at $130.39, down 1.22%, Nvidia's stock rose 0.53% in post-hours trade. The desire for artificial intelligence has been a major factor in the stock's remarkable 170.69% increase so far this year. Notwithstanding recent turbulence, the company's latest financial performance, which saw third-quarter revenue jump 94% year-over-year to $35.1 billion, continues to demonstrate its fundamental strength. Nvidia has a $3.21 trillion market valuation and a 53 price-to-earnings ratio. With 40 analysts giving an average price target of $170.56, Wall Street continues to have a positive outlook. According to Benzinga Pro Statistics, New Street Research sets a more cautious aim of $120, while Rosenblatt Securities leads with the most bullish objective of $220. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.